I tried to burp on command to fuck it up.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? As you heard, Harlan tried burping on command, but he failed epically.
It's stuck in the pipes.
As you heard, we fixed our audio problems.
Hopefully.
It picked up the die really, really good. It peaked that audio.
Hey, that's what we're looking for. So, I know we were going to talk about fighting games today, but we're actually changing schedules. We're going to talk about why Wizards of the Coast sucks.
Also, 2 apologies. Mostly my fault on both of them.
Entirely his fault.
Mostly. Because I think people cursed me because of the first apology.
People want your feet pics.
Yeah, people want my feet pics, because they're not getting, so I guess 3.
We should introduce ourselves, also, before we do the apology. I'm Ty.
I'm Harlan, Swift Main, 64.
Just cut him off.
I'm Michael.
Now
continue with your apology.
Yeah, so they know who's apologizing.
This is Harlan apologizing, the guy who did the Warhammer episode last week.
Oh, I hope that
honestly, that episode was meant to be for new players. I can understand why people got upset. That's why I forgot to start better whatever.
It's fine.
That's why I offered better podcast options at the end of it that are able to pledge more time to a very in-depth culture, we'll say, because it's a culture at this point. Second, we're late on recording because I'm pretty sure a bunch of people cursed me last week and caused me to lose my voice, so I was out for 2 weeks because I sounded like I swallowed a cheese grater.
Yeah, we were going to record last week, and then we were not able to.
Yes. Now I got my glorious voice back, you bastards, so you get to deal with me more.
All right, let's start the episode.
There we go, I guess.
So,
nice awkward silence.
We're going to talk about Wizards of the Coast.
And Hasbro in general.
Yeah, so to those of you that don't know what Wizards of the Coast is, and everyone probably knows what Hasbro is. Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast now. They bought them out, I want to say around 2004, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Was it bought out or partnered?
They're bought out, I think, because I think they're a subsidiary. Wizards of the Coast is famous for Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, and they do some other stuff, but that's where most of their stuff comes from.
Here's the burp. Oh fuck! I lost it again.
So
you did that
Hasbro.
on purpose.
I did.
Hasbro bought them out in 1999. I have it here, and now Wizards of the Coast is a subsidiary. So,
you just look like you're gonna puke.
Yeah, it's stuck there.
All right. Well, that's a good visual for the audience.
Yeah,
who can't see this. So
there we go.
God damn it.
Welcome to completely professional round 1 fight.
I forgot to say the name.
We did forget the same name.
Watch us on YouTube and eventually some other stuff.
Yeah, this is the 6th episode. You should know who we are by now. Is it 6th or 5th?
No one knows who we are. It's the 6th. No one knows who we are.
That's fair.
We're nobodies.
We have like 2 fans, and one of them keeps demanding feet pics from you.
That's true. Thank you to that one person. You know who you are.
We see you.
If we reach 100 subscribers, we will make the round 1 fight logo Harlan's feet pic.
They'll have to take it while I'm sleeping, drunk, but they'll get it.
Well, you walk around in sandals all day. We can get it.
Yeah, but nothing. You got to get the glorious full 14 men's foot.
Michael's currently attempting to get feet pic.
I got both. I got both of his feet.
All right, so
let's actually get going.
Let's get back on track.
We need good times before we get mad.
Who wants to give a real quick? So, I'm sure you all know Wizards of the Coast now because for the last week there was a video trending.
It's been the last couple weeks, but recent weeks there's been a video.
Yeah, I'm going to mention the video where most people recognize it. Where in this video, pretty sure it was a Moist Critical video.
Yes, Moist Critical. Love that channel.
So, there's a Moist Critical video that went to number 2 in trending. And it was entirely about how Wizards of the Coast is the most out-of-touch company possible right now.
They have gone from we are about the people for the people to they got to be underneath our foot. They got to empty their wallets for us. It is insane.
So this is all happening now. So we only have the story up to when we're recording.
Yeah.
But in addition, because we decided to last minute change our episode to this, we're not going to be the most organized during this one since it's a topical one.
But we should have a fair amount of information between the three of us about what's happening up until this point, which is a week after the critical video came out. Which last news was that tweet from the fucking CEO of Hasbro.
We'll get to there.
Well, we'll get to there. I have her exact wording.
Yeah, I'm framing a time frame.
Yeah, we're gonna try to start at the
because if people decide to listen back on this, they kind of need a.
Yeah, we're gonna try to start at the beginning and work our way up. We're gonna try to chronological.
Yeah.
So who wants
of dead air. Sorry
who
about
wants
that.
to take it up? Who wants to start?
Where are we starting from? That's depending.
The beginning. Like, when they were actually good, and we're just going to progress down the timeline.
I mean, we don't have to go the whole... We don't have to go the whole way.
They were debatably good up until
War of the Spark.
Let's
start at War of the Spark, when their last good set was.
Hang on. No, I'm not giving you that one.
I'll say that's when things started to teeter off.
Yeah, because the set immediately after was fantastic, and don't tell me otherwise.
I mean, that's true. It is both of our favorite sets.
Which one is it again?
Throne of Eldraine.
Throne of Eldraine, that's right. Eldraine's really good.
I also really liked Ikoria.
Ikoria was fun. Ikoria needed two. Eldraine and Ikoria needed
They just needed to work things more in Ikoria.
Why'd they get rid of the block format? No one knows what we're talking about anymore. Yeah. Let's not go back that far. Let's just try to focus on... Let's just try to focus on the big news that's been happening over the last month.
Yeah. So I guess in the past month, I'll include a little bit of last year because that's when things really got it hotboxed for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, WotC and Hasbro's just shit has been kicked in ever since 30th anniversary of MTG, at least of current events. They've kind of been on a slow, rocky course up until now, but the past couple months have been really rickety for them. And if you somehow don't know about the 30th anniversary, I'm going to say scandal. It's a scandal.
It is a scandal.
Well, I can go to this real fast.
Yeah.
So, basically, the 30th anniversary... Magic has been going for 30 years. So they decided to do a 30th anniversary special for Magic the Gathering.
Which makes sense.
What they did is they re-released the entire original set of Magic the Gathering
as proxies.
Yeah, the card back says 30th anniversary on it, and I believe they're gold
bordered.
Yeah, gold bordered.
They're gold bordered.
You can't use gold bordered in any form.
Yeah, because it's gold border and has a...
Now, there's gray line limitations, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's gold border...
Those gray line limitations are whether or not your friends allow it.
Right.
Well, no, it's also in an official judge tournament, if you were to get a professional to cover the border and a judge to sign off whether that was a liable proxy, like people use Gaia's Cradle as a proxy, and they just took the gold border, not colored in, but they had a professional done paint job on it to cover up that gold border. It was able to be used in tournament play.
Yeah. So, yeah. Essentially, though, for the most part, you're not going to be using these cards.
Yeah.
So, that sounds cool and all until you factor in the price.
And the quantity for the price.
Yeah. It was 1K, right?
Yes.
Every 4 packs was $1,000.
It came in a little bundle of 4 packs. And those 4 packs were $1,000. So
and
the breakdown
they were regular packs. Like, think about when you're cracking a pack now, there's a chance of getting a rare, a really good rare, or just hot garbage rare.
Anything anymore is a hot garbage
rare.
Rare.
Especially from Alpha. There's only a handful of good cards from Alpha that are actually useful. Now,
you get the
Magic
Power
paying
9.
$1,000 for maybe coming across one of these cards in a lot of, I think it was 200 some cards, maybe 300 at most.
Yeah, it's around there. So, rightfully so, everyone was pissed off because they did not want to spend $1,000 on cards that were essentially worthless.
Yes. And so, want to know what C's biggest thing of trying to sell this more? They sent it to the Yu-Gi-Oh crowd. They, instead of sending it to channels, like free product to channels that could maybe help their numbers, they sent it to Yu-Gi-Oh players, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just insane. Like, on top of trying to peddle this hot piece of just cardboard, you just send it to people who can't appreciate it as much as Magic, straight up Magic players. They sent it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, just officially, like, they're licensed, work with them type of shit. And Magic players got nothing.
Then let's talk about the fact they keep releasing products, but they're not caught up on all the products they've already released.
That's another thing. I think we mentioned it during the Magic rant, was Michael and I, we finally got our decks.
Waited a year for that.
Garbage decks, by the way, Wizards.
The coin flip. The garbage in quality. I personally like my deck. I just, it was alright. I took it apart and I rebuilt it, obviously. Because I don't know who built it, but fuck.
I'm just saying this. I bought it because I was like, I'm going to get all these cards and foils. Because I already owned that deck. I made it myself. And every foil is Pringled. Even the double-sided ones, which usually don't.
Yeah, the double-sided
Pringled.
shouldn't have been as Pringled as bad as they were. Yours were astonishing.
Yes.
As soon as I unsleeved mine, I noticed they started to Pringle. Even when I double sleeve them, I'm like, how is this happening? It's gone from sleeve to sleeve, and my copies were fairly unpringled. Like, I would label them under, like, maybe a mild curve after seeing a year worn on a M10 foil.
Exactly.
Like, mine were pretty good, and then they just got worse after I double sleeved them somehow.
I guess we should mention it, and I don't want to.
What part?
The universe is beyond, and how that has tanked a lot of their performance.
It's
it's
a mixed basket. It could have done good, but they made it do bad.
Yeah, so
real really
quick,
bad.
I'll explain. Universes Beyond is a very simple concept. It's basically, what if we took different franchises and all, and what if we took different franchises and just tried to make Magic cards out of them? So, for instance, it started with The Walking Dead, right?
Shit.
Yes.
Good job.
It started with The Walking Dead. It wasn't called... Was it called Universes Beyond at this point?
No, they didn't label it Universes Beyond
But it's
until
official.
slightly
Yeah.
after.
But it's official now.
Yeah. So, essentially yes, they did Walking Dead cards, and they did the worst possible thing of make brand new cards that you can't get anywhere else except by getting the Walking Dead cards.
Yes, and then that was one of their biggest lashbacks to that, because it was one of their... It wasn't their first Secret Lair product, it was one of their first.
One of their first.
Yeah, it was a bit into blank.
That's what I'm saying. It was a bit in there,
Yeah.
but it was like at least...
I think it was like the fifth set of Secret Lair.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
to say,
that
it's either
sounds
it's somewhere between 1 and 5.
That sounds about right. So, even if you're all sitting there listening and going, well, I like The Walking Dead, and that's not the point. The point is that the Secret Lair practice in and of itself is already a practice that people don't like. What is Secret Lair? Basically, it is... Wizards has taken an approach that they don't want to ever sell direct product. They want to sell the product to suppliers, and then the suppliers sell to you, the people.
Yeah, it's been like that for 28 years.
Yeah. So, essentially, what they did is they decided... oh, excuse me. That they decided they wanted to...
They're still not as good as if you got all the toes.
Take matters into their own
What are
hands.
you talking about? There's all the toes.
You're missing one toe.
They're talking about the feet pick.
Yeah, they keep trying to take pictures of my feet.
Oh.
At least I took a nice cleansing shower of
Sorry
my
about
feet yesterday with Epsom salt, so they look especially good today.
Nice. So, Secret Lair is trying to bypass that whole thing, where basically Wizard says we're going to print limited edition special variants of cards in Secret Lair, and the only way to get them is by buying that Secret Lair, and if you don't get it, you lose it forever. The fear of missing out is their entire marketing for these.
Which, I can understand why people got upset about it.
They were already met with backlash, but everyone was like, well, it's just alternate arts and all.
It's an alternate art. You can live without it. And then they got more egregious.
Yeah, and then they printed the Walking Dead cards, which were brand new cards that you couldn't get elsewhere except by buying the Walking Dead circular.
Yes, which...
And then when everyone got super pissed and angry, they had to quickly backtrack and say, well, actually, we're going to print
them down the line.
We're going to print the in-universe version of these cards. So basically,
I don't think we ever still got the...
No, I was going to mention that.
We
have gotten every other universes beyond, but that one.
Which...
So we'll get to...
It's fucking appalling.
So basically, they're like, we're going to print in Magic Universes. So instead of using Rick, we're going to make a character, and he's going to have the exact same abilities as Rick does. So you could play that card without playing the Walking Dead.
And then we're going to be considered the same card.
Yeah. Through a weird ruling thing.
Yeah, which is fine, sure, whatever.
So either way, they do that. Then they do Stranger Things. Then they do Street Fighter, and then they did their best one, the Warhammer 40k Commander decks, which were
actually
phenomenal.
That they're not proxies. This is why they're the great outliers. Is that these were brand new cards. Half of these constructed decks were. Some just brand new cards and unique to universes beyond what it's meant to be. And then they brought back good cards. I haven't seen Darkness reprint ever.
They had some good reprints in there.
They had a lot
really
of good
reprints, which are fun. Good. Those cards need to come back.
So the other reason why those decks went over really well and people liked them, they weren't in a secret lair format. That was just an actual deck release.
Yeah, they were available to
we
were supposed to be available to everyone. There now are, because I see the decks now available
everywhere
constantly. Although I see scalpers still trying to pick them up here and there.
So I
saw someone say, I found these decks. I just saw this article yesterday. Not article. This Reddit thing is I picked up all the decks and I picked up all of the Necrons, which there were 10, and a bunch of people were saying you fucked twat. Why'd you do that? And people are just saying, just forget about the deck for a while and you could sell it for a shit ton later. Which are just why be that scumbag that prevents people from enjoying the game? Because those people are what's helping destroy the game right now.
Scalpers are destroying everything. People just got to stop doing that.
Fucking PlayStation 5, Xbox, you name it.
So, to make it...
New graphics card.
All of this, though, isn't what ruined them.
It's only aiding.
It's what brought it to the boiling point. And we're at the boiling point where, about a little over a month ago, everything kind of spilled over. And that's kind of what we're talking about now.
They forgot to put the ladle on top to prevent the water from boiling over.
So
they could have just taken more water out, or do damage control in general, and it wouldn't have gone this far.
Yeah, they saw the pot boiling over and went, more water will help.
Yeah, well, just put more water.
So with that out of the way...
It's not even good water.
I was going to say
water.
They put oil in it.
They put oil and tap water in.
We had a grease fire and they put oil in it.
Yeah.
They had a grease fire and decided water would put it out.
Fucking idiots.
All right, let's start actually. So I've been talking a bit. I'll let Winnie get to.
So specifically, what we are talking about is one of the Wizards officials has come out and said the words.
Is it Wizards or Hasbro?
It was a Hasbro.
It's a Hasbro official, but Wizards of the Coast. They're a representative of Wizards of the Coast.
They were representing Wizards of the Coast and D&D at that point.
Yeah, this whole story is largely about
they're the same people. But...
That they have to start seeing customers as obstacles between them and their money. First things first, Wizards and Hasbro has got to understand.
Hang on, real quick. Can you tell the audience who said that quote? Who was that?
I don't have her name on.
No. I meant who? What did she do before she worked at Wizards?
She was a finance manager, I think, at Microsoft.
Yeah, so we have a finance manager at Microsoft who is now working for is now working for Hasbro.
As a vice CEO, actually, I think it was.
Yes, that's who made this statement. I'll pull up the name.
Yeah, the person who's supposed to represent a company, not community, a company that is supposed to give to the community joy and happiness since fucking when were they a thing? Like 1960, 1970?
Let's find out.
1923. 1920 fucking 3. This company has supposed to put smile on kids' faces or young adults or just adults.
Put smile on kids' faces. They're doing that wonderfully these days.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, give us your money, bitches.
Skeletor laugh.
She looks like fucking Skeletor.
She does. Oh, no, she's kind of fat.
Yeah, that's an insult to Skeletor.
Oh! Fuck. That was good.
Fucking, what crotchy ass Karen ass bitch says that for a company meant to bring joy? They've gone to EA.
Someone who worked for Microsoft.
Somebody who worked for Microsoft.
Someone who worked for Microsoft.
Then went to Hasbro.
It's fucking EA all over again.
We're going to continue on with Wizards right now because in response to this, obviously all their fans were up in arms. So D&D Beyond took a major hit. They lost thousands of subscriptions.
Yeah, I forget I don't remember the percentage.
But
it was a large percentage.
It was a very large percentage to the point where they basically shut down D&D Beyond for a short period of time, so nobody else.
You gotta phrase it like Moist Critical. The site conveniently crashed because of the amount of people
on it,
unsubscribing and on it, and then it went under maintenance to fix the issue.
And then they hid the unsubscribe button.
The unsubscribe button is hidden from its normal spot. I have not even attempted to look because as a DM, trying to DM. Oh no, Gabuman. Trying to DM, setting up stuff, I need those resources because it's a good cloud spot to keep my resources for NPCs, characters I want to play as, and other shit, making characters for my wife. It's what I use, so I kind of forced a stick in there. It's only $3, but I'm glad I didn't have a master's fucking subscription.
So we should probably start talking about the whole D&D incident aside from that, though.
Oh, the OGL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the inputs from 2 major content creators. I need to pull up that article again.
Let's start with what OGL is.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling it up now. Good job. I'm pulling it up now to read directly, let you all know what's kind of going on. So OGL in the shortest is short for the Open Game License, which basically says that that's the public copyright license that Wizards of the Coast uses for D&D. And that OGL lets other people make their own D&D content, and then they could sell that for money as it falls under the OGL, where you could basically, just make your stuff. It's essentially letting the fans make stuff they want and then be able to profit and sell that.
It's letting the fans homebrew whatever they want.
It's letting the fans use the product without getting punished for using the product.
Yeah, and it's what made D&D so popular for a long period of time. Because you could literally right now, at this very second, as long as it hasn't been destroyed yet, go onto your computer and then look up homebrew content for D&D, and you could find an entire full book that someone is selling of just races they made, or just classes they've made, or just items that they made.
And keep in mind, this is all stuff that Wizards knows people want. Yeah, they just refuse to make it. So the fans took it into their own hands to do it.
It's some people, like their team is just like, okay, not necessarily refuse to make it, or we don't see a reason to make it because we want to make the game balanced for people just hopping in the game.
Well, right, but that's why they do the OGL, is because they're like, well, this is a mostly a fan run game that's largely
this
about
game
expression.
wouldn't exist without their fans.
Yeah,
it's a fucking culture at this point.
Exactly, which is why it's going down the shitter right now.
Well, yeah, and it's largely about expression and what you want to do. There's really no, you can't do that in D&D, and more of a, how do you make that work? And so that's why the Open Game License exists.
which was great. I was able to make a drunken monk I like versus the regular class options because I didn't like the class options they provided.
They have. Also, we also have to talk about them getting rid of the Magic proxy.
What? Hang on.
That's a whole other
That's
thing.
a whole nother thing.
Let's finish up with D&D.
We're talking about D&D, then we'll go back to Magic because
I'm just bringing it up.
I'm flaming still about the 30th anniversary shit.
So, with D&D, and it's currently up in the air what they're doing or what they will do, but there were discussions and talks, and nothing is officially confirmed, but this is all what has been going around right now, that OGL
it's short for Open Game License 1.1.
Right. The Open Game License might be canceled entirely soon, in favor of just a regular copyright.
Yes.
There's also been some discussion on the internet that it seems like they may or may not want to go to a subscription-based OGL, where if you give them so much money per month, you could then publish stuff and make money off it, like it would be the OGL, except now you're paying them for it.
There was that, but there was also the royalties thing that we're talking about, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Critical mentions it. It is an open-ended discussion on the royalties. In their original contract they have for it, I will look for it and I will put that PDF in the YouTube bio. Like, it is insane.
Put it in the comment.
Yeah, I do what I did for our Twitter, where I'll put that link below, either in comments or bio.
Yeah.
But it is set up to where they can just spring the ask of this quantity on you. From what I understand, like, you could just be a podcast starting up and you say, okay, $3,000 royalty, please. And it's just, they can cancel the number you agreed upon at any given time to give you a brand new number.
Yeah.
And you have within 30 days to oblige to that.
Basically, they value what they think you're worth. And they could change that value at
Not even what you're worth, what they deserve. You need to phrase it in the most selfish ways possible, because that's exactly what their companies are being portrayed as right now.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what's going on with the open game license, and that's what has caused a lot of people to be pissed. That's also what started everyone canceling their D&D Beyond subscription. And to give a brief what D&D Beyond is, it's an automated website to help you with Dungeons and Dragons. You could make adventures on there. You could make characters on there, and it gives you all of the book resources.
It's meant
right
to be
there.
a tool.
Granted, you have to pay a bit for each of those, but it's a lot cheaper than just buying the books. But a lot of people do use this instead of just getting the books anymore.
Yeah, it's like $5 cheaper than to buy a hardcover book,
and you could get just what you need.
Yeah, you can get.
Do you want Do you want just the item section of this one book? You could buy just the item section.
I buy just the races for every book that come out because I love crafting new stuff. Yeah, and when I'm building characters like NPCs, I can use those.
Well, I would also argue getting the new classes and stuff.
Yeah, some classes I get. Like, I don't get too much Dragonlance stuff because it's specific to Dragonlance. Like, I can't use it in mine effectively.
Yeah. You don't mean the classes.
No, the classes.
No, they don't introduce new classes. You mean the...
No, Dragonlance introduced adventure-specific classes. Or not classes, but subclasses.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The subclasses is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify, because they don't really add new classes to the game.
Yeah, no,
subclasses.
Those, you would have to go to Homebrew.
Yeah. That's what the open game license was for.
One of the things I'll mention, and one of the biggest names when it comes to D&D out there, is Critical Role. Matt Mercer made one of the classes that became official to D&D.
Yeah, but to their credit, Critical Role isn't officially run Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards of the Coast thing now.
No.
Show.
Yeah, it's just a show. They use their stuff.
No, I know.
I'm saying,
so when they made a book for them because
D&D
they wanted to incorporate
reached out to them and reached out to Matt and said, "Hey, we would like to add your class to D&D Beyond as an actual option for players to pick up."
Well, no, it's more than just D&D Beyond. It's in an official book. But
well, no, I know that. It's just like add it to D&D in general.
Yeah.
So as an official thing you can use.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that. But like I said, they did that because they're an official. They're an official show on.
They could have just not added the class too.
Oh, they didn't need to.
It's a brand new.
Well, I'm just saying, like if we had started Dungeons and Dragons podcast and we make a class, 90% chance they're not coming to us.
Yeah,
they went to them because A, they're popular, and B, but they were already on their network.
Yeah, it didn't appear as an actual thing until after the first season or first campaign.
By the way, in case anyone's curious, the class is called the Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know that, that's where that comes from. Or if you don't play D&D, now you know the Blood Hunter is the one. And to date, if you go on D&D Beyond, it's still like it's technically not an official class.
No, it's under its own sub-rules.
Class, yeah.
You have to click on Critical Role in order to get it.
Yeah.
It is free, however, on D&D Beyond. You don't have to buy anything to get the Blood Hunter.
Which is great, because I like Blood Hunter. I made 2 Blunt Hunters? Yes. Snoop Dogg, the Blunt Hunter.
Oh, no.
No, I made 2 Blood Hunter classes that I wanted to play around with, and they look fun to play. I guess from there we can segue into what 2 outside but heavily used D&D companies use D&D, and they're affected by this too. Yeah. Which I have the 2 here. We'll mention the first one, Critical Role. They had their say about this. It was a bit more polite than the other one.
That's only because it was them.
Yeah, this is also, I'm going to cover my ass and give the site I'm using is bellowflossedsouls.net, I believe. Their article has Critical Role's input, which was... Hang on, what's
real
up?
Quick, can you, one more time, what was the site name?
Bellowflossedsouls. B-E...
Bell of Lost Souls.
Oh, is that what it is?
I would assume that it's Bell of Lost Souls.
No, Bellow Floss Souls.
Continue.
Now, it's because it's centered in, and I didn't get that. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bell of Lost Souls, which is...
I just caught that, and I was like, there's no...
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
You knocked over Agumon.
Get destroyed.
Critical Role has always supported creators and game developed in the tabletop space. We stand by our industry peers as well as anyone who takes a risk creating a new system or developing an original idea. The beauty of gaming comes from the opportunity to share inclusive, diverse, and compelling stories from a wide spectrum of characters. That's exactly why we launched our own game publishing company a few years ago, because we believe that broadening the field of creators boosts the entire industry. The success we have experienced is thanks to the passion and interest of the greater tabletop community, and we commit to fostering an environment that allows everyone the opportunity to easily share the stories they wish to tell. This is pretty much saying, like, adding the OGL that they're going to introduce or want to is just going to limit, it's going to, not spearhead, it's going to funnel your people you're getting. Instead of a giant crowd of people rushing in, you're now making a single filed line trickle of people like spreading the news about your game. Like, this is a community, not a business. Like, you share D&D and all of its stuff you're making for it to the people. You're gaining more by letting that community spread, not by putting a fucking tax or pay toll for your fucking game. And the other people, which we'll mention, which they are... Hold on, I need to find them. They are...
While he does that,
yeah,
I'm going to just state this. This is all developing as you know, currently we're not currently at the end result. So what they do with the OGL, if they do anything, they might not do anything, is still up in the air because they've already started retracting some statements at the backlash that they've gotten. So
it's still that the CEO of Hasbro is seeing this as a cash cow.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying
separating people from Hasbro's money.
No, it's true.
Their money.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just stating that we don't currently know what's going to happen with the OGL. So any of these is not set in stone that we're mentioning.
The other people were Penny Arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Penny Arcade says, I remember when you came to us and wondered how you could get people to try D&D, and we suggested a podcast. Different time, huh? I understand that sometimes something happening to the stonk, and this caused the ever-widening circle of black crows to erupt over your offices, figuratively, and your brand, literally. I also know many, many people who work there and would never have anything to do with this. The people I know are drawing tentacles or painting museum-quality pieces or trying to figure out how to stuff as much classic Dungeons & Dragons textures into the new version as they can. That is to say, they understand perfectly well that Dungeons & Dragons is and you can ask them about at any time. It pretty much goes on just like... let's see. Dungeons & Dragons isn't really a brand, it's a culture, which is a million times better than a brand. It's not like that doesn't have direct implications for the bottom line. D&D is on its most successful iteration ever precisely because it's a universal touchstone. I've heard from you that streaming and podcasts are to thank for that. I can't really make heads or tails of your apology, but let me say this. You have entered treacherous waters entirely of your own volition. Literally just turn around and walk back out. Like, holy fuck.
Harlan can't process. There was too many words in the statement.
Yeah, I read it. I didn't process any of it. No, it was just... You have two of your biggest,
games.
Not even games. Two of for D&D. Yeah, you have two of your own product pushers. They're not just that. They're far more than that. But they're two of your poster boys. We'll say that, and they're turning around and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's kind of a big thing.
Let's be honest here. Without Dungeons and Dragons and Magic, Wizards is done. They are out of business. They are...
The fact they're trying to neuter these two testicles is
that's pretty
why
much
ruin your stud?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all they have. I know they do a few board games, but
that's all they do.
Those don't sell that well.
No, they don't.
They've got one good selling board game, and that's not enough to support their.
But that's not to say Hasbro is losing money at any given time.
No, of course not.
They're
still making money.
Just so much fucking money.
But they say they have to keep ramping up costs and products because they're not making as much, but their corporate tax filing says otherwise.
Yeah, didn't they fucking Wizards of the Coast alone they reported last year or during COVID at the very least.
No, yeah,
during COVID, Wizard sales spiked, but they said that we have to raise money. Raise the cost of everything because...
Wasn't it by 40%?
Yes.
Yeah, so they actually hit
because we lost money, and it's no, you didn't.
You made money.
You sold every product that got put on shelves.
Yeah,
twice over.
Yeah, not too long ago, there was a statement by Wizards where they're like, we have to increase costs for our product, so we're upping the general cost of everything. Specifically because we're not making as much money and we need to fix that. And then they went ahead and reported...
after the Dominaria United release?
Yeah.
Yes.
Their worst performing set because at this point everyone's so wallet fatigued and they released not a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. And then they went ahead and reported that year they made record profit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but they
also, I saw this of recent. Some of the draft packs are exactly the same setups.
Yeah,
yes.
They had that recently. They have so many printing errors now.
I saw a video and they're just going through. Is anyone else's draft pack does this? Common for common, they were the exact same position, exact same card up until they reached maybe the third uncommon in the pack.
Yeah, that
I
was
sat
a recent
there and
one.
went, what the actual fuck? These are supposed to be new draft packs. And I'm sitting here wondering why I can't find a fucking common I should have 16 of. Ever buying a box of Kamigawa.
Yeah, that happened recently. Another one during Brothers War, I think. Yeah, it was Brothers War.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
Someone bought a commander deck, which is normally 100 cards of different cards. It's a singleton format, so every card should be different.
Yeah.
Except for basic lands.
Wasn't this just the basic land deck?
No, instead,
No.
someone
all Mishra.
Someone got 50 copies of Mishra and 50 copies
That's
of...
what it was.
Who's the Ashnod?
Ashnod.
Fucking.
They got 50 copies of each of the 2 alternate commanders that were in that set. And that was their entire commander deck.
Wizards, you're probably losing money because you have so many fucking errors.
They're losing money because we talked about this in the Magic episode. They have over tripled their product rate at which they put out new stuff, or just products in general, on a yearly basis. And people are starting to not give a shit about any of their stuff.
It's just like I've gotten to the point where I don't look at spoiler season anymore. I fucking hate spoiler season now.
We didn't even buy any of the last set.
No,
because it was a problem.
I half wanted the Mishra Precon, and I just went.
Yeah, that's not even.
It's not worth it.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's for my personal experience.
That's not the last set. They had a set already after that.
That's right. I completely forgot about Dominaria Remastered.
Yeah, none of us were interested, and usually
I think I picked up a pack because. Why not?
They had a Dominaria Remastered,
and
set.
I hated myself after.
And we used to buy boxes of each set.
We used to invest so much money into this game. It's not even funny. We used to go to pre-releases.
Yeah, I stopped.
We stopped
way
before
before you guys. But
we have to talk about the pre-release change.
Oh, you mean that doesn't exist anymore?
So, all right. To give everyone an idea of what the pre-release was.
The pre-release was that thing you went to.
It was a magical
to get a little taste of something.
It's a real and magical time.
It just you went there the week before the official set released. You were part of an exclusive crowd that went, and you just went and played with the new set.
Yeah, the pre-release event, as it was.
And this was their time to also feel out issues early on before it hit standard. Like if there was a massive issue with a card, they would try to get rid of it, or they would look into getting rid of it.
Yeah. So here's what the pre-release was, to get super specific and exact. The week before the set, Saturday and Sunday, because the set releases on a Friday.
Sometimes Friday.
Friday,
sometimes
Saturday,
Friday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
You'd go into the pre-release. You'd pay $25, and you would get 6 packs of cards from that set, and one special pre-release card, which was a rare mythic from that set that was in foil, and it had the little pre-release stamp on it. Which basically the pre-release stamp is just a gold little stamp that marks the date, and that's actually embossed into the card.
Yes.
And then the set would release the week after that Friday, and essentially that gave not even just Wizards, but the players really liked that because A, the pre-release is popular since that's the first time a lot of people are playing with these cards, and B, that gives everyone a week after to determine, all right, I need this card, I need that card, I need this card. I'm going to start buying them so I can have them ready for standard opening night.
Yeah.
Then, when Wizards released their online version of Magic, not Magic Online, they don't run that, Magic Arena, they decided, well, the set is just going to release the week before the pre-release for Magic Arena only. And a lot of fans were completely upset at that.
They pretty much just went, why make it special? Just slop the pigs, they'll be happy.
So then, it was already accepted. I think it was, I want to say Kaladesh, but that's completely wrong. What's the one we just had with the demons?
Streets of
New Capenna.
Yeah, Capenna, that's what I was trying for. In Capenna, which was not that long ago, they decided to do the opposite. Arena was going to release the day before the real set, so at least a Thursday or maybe on a Wednesday, but still after the pre-release. And fans were like, this is great. Why? Let's do this all the time. And now Wizards has said they're going to make a change to the pre-release policy. The pre-release happens, and then instead of having to wait till the Friday for the set release for all of those cards to be legal in every format, those cards are legal starting at the pre-release. So it's not really a pre-release anymore, is what everyone's saying. It's now just the release.
Yeah, it's just a release.
But as stated, the set does not drop. So people who do not go to the pre-release cannot get new cards.
Or unless you buy cards off of the internet from other people's pre-release packs.
Which during the pre-release is going to be very hyped up.
Yeah, well,
in terms of prices.
partially that's only partially true. Because Wizards decided to do even more of their good big brain ideas.
That's what they have. They have They have mother brain they're sitting on.
There are...
Talking about kicking
Elder
the
brain?
horse.
What?
There are various stores that sell Magic, obviously card shops, and to sell Magic the Gathering officially and have it be brought to you by an official distributor, you have to be recognized as a Magic store. There are 4 levels to a Magic store. The only thing that matters to this discussion right now is a level 4, which is essentially a Wizards operated store. It's not owned because it's still owned by whoever started the store.
Some guy comes in there and tells you how to
Set up
rearrange
your
shit
store.
in your store
they
to
literally
maximize Magic products.
Yeah, they literally tell you that. So if we've heard this from some card shop owners in the area, especially one that they were qualified to make level 4 and turned them down because of this. A representative would come in. The representative would tell them, "This is your store setup. This shelf goes over here. This shelf goes over here, and this is how we set it up now. You need this many tables, and you need this much staff, and this is the set of the product we're going to supply you. You sell it." And they get to determine what you sell. So if they see you selling other card games that they don't like, you don't sell that anymore.
Yeah.
Board games and all the like. So if you had a product...
Games Workshop isn't even that bad.
Yeah, right?
No.
They come in and tell you, like...
Also.
You kind of just like, hey... Like, you have to sell it, and I think they rearrange your store a little, but they don't rearrange the store.
They make sure you have a dedicated, like...
Yeah,
Warhammer section.
They have a checklist of shit you need to do versus... Warhammer or Magic is your mother coming in and rearranging your house.
Did you meet our qualifications compared to we tell you what you do now?
Yeah.
So that's what level 4 store is. What is the technical name for the store?
What?
What's the technical name for a level 4 store?
I don't remember.
They call them something specific.
They're money pigs. I don't know.
Yeah. So either way,
it's probably something disrespectful as soon as they walk out of there.
These level 4 stores get a ton of stuff that regular stores don't get, and that pissed off everyone. They did these sets of cards called the Commander Collection. They've done green and black so far.
If you wanted it, a fucking dominatrix in terms of how harsh their shit is.
Yeah, except they're dressed in a business suit.
Yeah, they're dressed in a business suit. It's like, come here, lick my foot. Now I'm gonna rearrange your store, and you're gonna fucking like it, pig boy.
Mud grub?
Filthy little mud grub.
Little cunt baby. I'm gonna go snapping some cunt babies.
You said the C word. We're demonetized.
No.
So
we're already demonetized.
Like we're making anything off this fucking thing anyway.
That's true. Help us make stuff off this. Should we start a Patreon?
Yeah.
So the level...
Should we start an OnlyFans for Harlan's feet?
That will do eventually.
So it's only to fund this podcast.
The level 4 stores, they would get special products. So they'd get those Commander Collection
Going feet finder.
sets in foil, which is what people wanted. They wanted those cards in foil. You can't get them in regular stores only get them in non-foil. They also only have special events that you can play there, and those events give special promo cards that you only get at that event.
Yeah.
So if you're like us, which I think it's a WPN store is what they call them. Our closest...
Sounds right.
Yeah, WPN for Wizards Play Network. Our closest store, level 4 store, is about 4 hours away.
Person network.
Pretty accurate. It's about 4 hours away from us because no one in our area either qualifies or turned them down for the level 4 store because they don't.
Yeah, you know what's bad when stores who can qualify for it go, no, fuck you.
Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, we have one in the area, and we talked to the owner specifically, and he was just telling us.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, you know the one. And he was telling us, well, like, this is, I could have made a level 4, and then this is, and we're like, well, why didn't you? And he explained it. We're like, oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, some of his crowd is Yu-Gi-Oh crowd. Like, that makes at least half of that guy's revenue. So Magic comes and is like, no, you can't do Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Throw it out.
Yeah,
throw it out.
Give it to the rats.
By the way, I've never heard of a store quitting, like, not being a level 4 store, but I'm sure it's a hell of a process to go through.
Yeah, I mean...
So...
It's probably more effort than what it's worth, so they stay there. Or they have a really interesting sex life and just love it.
Do you remember what I started?
Or you just don't become level 4 by just taking a product and putting it somewhere else.
Because you have standards.
Yeah, I brought up these stores for a reason. Now I can't remember it.
The WPN stores?
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast sucks.
That's the reason.
Yeah, that's the reason.
It was because they did something specific that fans got irritated at. Because it only worked at a WPN store.
Not Secret Lairs pre-release. Pre-release only is affected
that's
in
right.
WPN
so
stores.
we're talking about pre-releases. The pre-release, now a regular store, anything that's level 3 or lower, can't sell their product until the release of the set Friday, despite the fact those cards are legal, like you mentioned. Except WPN stores don't have that stipulation. They're allowed to sell product immediately
of the box.
Yeah, immediately as the pre-release ends.
I thought they were able to do it even during the pre-release.
They might be able to, but
like I heard, as soon as they get the product, they could start sales on it.
Yeah, they give special treatment to their level 4 stores to try to get you into them because guess what? They're collecting profit off of that level 4 store. They don't.
I heard it from my personal guy, which unfortunately his store's closed. He's relocating, but it's like, what the fuck? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Now, it also depends on which store you go to and whether or not they actually care about this. If some stores will actually they get the product and they just go, well, screw you, Wizards. We already have the prices for it. We're going to list them.
We're technically, some of the stores don't adhere to that and they're willing to sell product. Technically, they're not supposed to, and if Wizards ever finds out, that's a big problem because Wizards will actually remove stores from their network no matter what level they are.
Or sue them until they're gone.
That's another thing. They've done that in the past.
Honestly, at this point, though, is it really a bad thing if they get rid of Wizard products? Probably not.
You're still getting rid of an entire community.
You're hurting the card store, which is the issue.
Like, that's half the reason why we're not doing a card... Well, we talked about not even doing a card shop anymore because Wizards is tanking so bad.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard to get into that market.
A level 3 or lower store, if they stop selling Magic, it is going to hurt their profits, and then you're hurting the store.
Not by a lot, though.
It would make up at least a third.
Not anymore.
Look at how much our store goes to, and look at how much their pre-release does, and look at how much their other events do. They don't do nearly as much as that.
I guarantee you,
Warhammer,
the store near us is more Warhammer oriented.
Are we talking about
else.
Dragon or Sands?
Dragon,
yes.
Probably, but how often does he run Warhammer events?
Pretty often.
Plus, Warhammer events are pretty. You pay a flat fee half the time. You're not spending as much as, say, the Magic player or Pokemon player. No, I'm saying that because if I buy an army, I don't really need to buy new pieces for that army. Magic
until they release new stuff.
Yeah.
Or until you get bored of said army.
Even then, I can walk in and play that same army and update it mildly over the course of 5 years reasonably. Magic, you're coming in every set, and if you're a dedicated fan, you're buying a $100 box every set.
That's only standard, and standard is a dime.
No, but we still know people that do that.
There's still people that do that.
We know people that do that still.
We don't know people that do that still.
I don't want to say their name now, but we know people.
I know people too. Like, I've just talked with someone who is buying he only buys from secondary markets now, but he buys Magic oddities. Like, he just said he was interested in buying $1,000 Thopter that was a specific print Thopter that's 69 out of 500 copies. And he was like, it's kind of worth it if it wasn't in the damage it was. I'm like, what to talk about? I would never spend $1,000 on that Thopter. Yeah, but I want horny Thopter.
Yeah. So
he buys oddities like that, miscuts, prints, that sort of stuff, which is fine. Like, I'd rather support the fucking artist at that point. Prints you're buying from the artist.
So I was going to mention this though, and you said the price difference in Magic to Warhammer, and
it's
well, I was what
It's not necessarily price different. It's
no. I was gonna. You'll hear it.
It's a returning customer.
Yeah. Well, here, let me do it like this. This will help clear it up for the audience, and it'll make sense. We had an old card shop here that's closed now.
Yeah. Owner died, unfortunately.
Yes. He was he didn't play Magic. He sold it at his store though and ran events, but he didn't play Magic. He played Warhammer, and he used to say, in the best way possible, the difference between Magic and Warhammer is that Warhammer is a larger investment at the beginning, and Magic is continual investments over time.
It's continual, smaller investments.
It's still continual.
And I guarantee right now we've spent more on Magic than we likely ever will on Warhammer unless we try to buy every army.
You bought boxes since Kaladesh.
Yeah, if we buy 10 boxes, that's $1,000.
Our
starting
single
investment
box
in Warhammer
was $1,000.
And I know you have bought a collector booster box, personally, for my Korea.
How many boxes did we buy of Jumpstart?
Jumpstart, I think you're on your 5th box
Probably
of Jumpstart
like
2.
10. No,
we're only on like the 3rd of Jumpstart.
Okay, then we're
the original
We're
Jumpstart.
only on our 2nd for Jumpstart 2. Because I bought one and then Ty bought one.
That's right. So Jumpstart, the original though. Oh, we talk about the Jumpstart.
I was thinking of making my own Jumpstart, but I'm going to go fucking Proxy.
No, not that. I mean, we have to talk about Jumpstart for this.
I'm making Proxy, and I'm calling it the Gelatinous Cube because I saw something on Reddit that made it look cool.
That's great. So, yeah, we bought like 10 boxes of Jumpstart, the original. What Jumpstart is Jumpstart was a fun new format that Wizards put out, and it wasn't a standard set of box or like any of the Masters boxes. It was the Jumpstart box, and what it was is they put it out, I want to say 2 years ago at this point, or maybe a bit more.
Sounds accurate.
Probably a bit more, probably
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3.
I think 20.
Original
Jumpstart.
Original Jumpstart? Original Jumpstart came out around 2020.
Yeah. So yeah, about 2 to 3 years. So what Jumpstart was is...
I think it was mid-year 2020.
Yeah. Instead of... You bought a pack of Jumpstart, and it was like $4, $5. And instead of getting a 15-card pack like you used to, you got a little...
$20. Or not $20, 20 card
20 card pack. And that pack...
to 40 card decks.
Well, hang on. That pack was a specific pack. It was labeled what pack you got once you opened it. Like on the inside, there was a little front card that would tell you. It's like, you got the Dogs pack. And the Dogs pack is now a set list of cards that doesn't change. They have a few variations. So you might get like Dogs A, Dogs B, Dogs C. But aside from that, it doesn't change. And the concept was you took that 20 cards, you bought a second pack, took that 20 cards, and you shuffled them together. And now you have a 40-card deck that you play against someone else doing the same thing. And you're supposed to get weird combinations. Like you could get spooky dogs.
Or my favorite was Inventive.
That was a fun one.
I got both variants.
My favorite was
Spooky Rainbow.
My favorite was Spooky Rainbow.
Spooky Rainbow's pretty good.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a rainbow in the dark Jumpstart.
Dog unicorn.
Like a rainbow in the dark.
Yeah, the concept is you get these fun packs, and the set went over massive. It was one of Wizards' best-selling products of the year, and it was probably their best-selling product for the last 2 to 3 years of that.
And for a long time, it was really hard to get a box of it.
Yeah, because there was printing errors.
It was a mix of printing errors
and shipping errors. Because a lot of our product went to Canada.
Speaking of which, fuck you, Canada.
I agree. Let's kill them.
I like Canada.
No, you don't.
I do.
So
they don't hang their LGBT community from trees for the first time trying to come out.
You said come.
I did say come.
We're 7.
I'm 27.
Oh no.
He at least has a 7 in his.
At least 7.
Yeah, at least 7 is there.
So.
Oh yeah, you want to know something? If you were to put the entire ocean into glasses of water, you have at least 6 glasses.
You mean at least 7?
If you were to take out your entire nervous system and put it on the ground, it would hurt.
But then I wouldn't be nervous anymore.
Almost everyone was born on their birthday.
What do you mean almost?
I don't know. I heard this from TikTok. I got mad at that point. I was like, what do you mean almost?
It worked.
Who's escaping that formula?
Everyone born after 9/11 can drink.
The unborn?
I guess I don't know.
If you're born on leap year?
I thought that, but no, you're still born on a birthday.
That's true. All right, back on track. We got 10 minutes left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
We should also. hint back to the 30th anniversary shit too.
Yeah, we can start talking about some of their other mishaps that
Mishaps.
year. So real quick with Jumpstart. Jumpstart was popular. They decided they're going to do another one. They were going to call it Jumpstart 22 because they're going to come out in 22. And it was a great idea, and that's what's coming out now. But in between that, they decided, fuck it, every set's going to have Jumpstart. Every set. So Dominator United had
Because
Jumpstart.
wasn't it reported that they thought the set was doing bad? Like their sales were tanked on it?
No, it did. Dominator United was a
No, I meant Jumpstart.
Oh, I have no idea.
No.
Yeah, it was originally reported that their sales were tanked, and who would have thought it was because half their product went to fucking Canada.
Oh, yeah, it did have
But
problems.
they reported as bad, and they said they were thinking about not introducing it again. And then they introduced it to set.
Yeah, so now, instead of having, like,
No, they were talking about getting rid of Jumpstart because the other ones were doing bad. The ones set-specific ones, because
It was also
bad.
It was also regular Jumpstart.
Well,
I remember
yeah,
that because it was the Canada thing.
It had poor sales because a lot
of the American products went to Canada.
Yeah, so to anyone that doesn't know, Wizards of the Coast is an American company. Most of their products get sold and distributed almost entirely in America, and the rest of the world makes up only 10% of their sales.
There's like a couple other like Wizards Coast headquarters. Their main one is in America.
Yeah, and so for the most part, if you ever look at the amount of boxes made in English compared to other languages, English boxes are there's one Japanese box made for every 10 English boxes. There's one Russian box for every 5 Japanese boxes.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth, because they just know that they're not going to do well there. So what happened is they sent 80% of the Jumpstart boxes and packs to Canada on accident because of a shipping error.
Didn't some of them also go to Europe too? Like it was split?
I believe there was some in Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why then when that happened, it had near the border, people would go into Canada, buy Jumpstart packs, go across the border an hour drive away into America, and then just sell those Jumpstart packs for double what they bought them.
Scalpers.
So what happened is they do Dominaria Jumpstart, which is just 10 packs instead of the 50 that was in Jumpstart 1, and they sucked. They sucked bad.
I'm still ashamed at you that you even bought those and even added them.
I need them for my collection.
You don't.
We need. I need the
you
art
told me
cards.
that one rare card they have is just a colored rare. It has no additive to it. It's just a random colored rare.
Yeah. So
because you asked me, hey, do you have a random colored white rare?
The Jumpstart packs for Dominator United and Brothers War, they've got their themes, and in those themes, they include a random rare or mythic of that color in the set, or from the set in this, and it creates some really fun events, like when you get one of the rares that has kicker red-white. Well, I'm in a blue deck. I have to hope that my other pack is red-white so that I could use the kicker effect for this card.
Yeah.
Or in the black pack, you got Painful Quandary, which only activates when you discard a card. The black pack has no way to discard cards. What is Painful Quandary going to do?
Painful Quandary got a reprint?
In Brothers War.
In Brothers
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like 10 cents now. That used to be a $10 card.
Yeah.
And now, these products did so bad that Wizards was thinking about pulling Jumpstart. Totally.
Well, they were thinking about doing a lot of things. That was one of them. And then Jumpstart 22 is selling well now, so I don't know if they will. What they thought about was getting rid of their draft boosters.
Yeah.
Which would totally kill multiple formats.
People who go to events just to play draft get fucked.
Exactly.
The set boosters
The pre-release
are fine.
would be fucked. What are they gonna do? You can't play list cards once we start putting set boosters in the pre-release. Nobody's gonna follow that.
No one's gonna follow it. They're gonna fucking add it.
Yeah.
It's in the pack. It's legal to play. I'm personally fine with set, or was fine. I don't buy them much anymore because I was a veteran player and I didn't need half the other crap that I got in the pack. So I bought the set pack, maybe get a cool art card, and maybe get a cool thing because they had special shit with them too.
Yeah, but...
So, do we want to talk about some of the other stuff that Wizards decided to do for their 30th anniversary?
So, thanks to Wizards for their 30th anniversary, they decided that all proxy websites we're pretty much
Oh yeah,
going to
on
be
top of
removed.
saying
Not
that
what
product
I
you're gonna
meant,
pay
but yeah,
$1,000 for, it's just gonna be proxies. You can't play at any major event. We want to also look into getting rid of proxy websites and custom art cards.
Yes.
Because fuck you have to buy our product.
Like, that's the main thing. If I want a custom art card, like, if I want the Megazord for, what's that one from
Who's that?
Kamigawa?
Mech Titan?
Mech Titan. If I want a Megazord art for Mech Titan, specifically for the token, and that's on a proxy website.
which was
or Gurren Lagann.
Gundam Arts?
Gundam Arts.
Because that was done by the guy who did Gundam?
Mm-hmm. Like, we can't get those because Wizards are just like, fuck you, proxies.
You can, because there still are a few proxy websites up.
I'm not going to mention any of them because fuck you, Wizards. You have to find them.
Yeah. Yeah, they nuked a bunch of proxy websites, which, side note, makes me... I wanted to mention this earlier because I was thinking about this. When are they going to get rid of... If they get rid of the OGL for the for D&D, when do they get rid of, like, the homebrew websites for D&D?
Oh,
it's probably going to be a thing that comes right after because the CEO's a fucking rancid cunt.
Demonetized again.
We were already demonetized. I might as well go ham. She's a fucking... She makes Ursula from The Little Mermaid look like goddamn Sleeping Beauty
We lost
in comparison.
He's gone off the deep end. We lost
I'm
him.
so mad at this rancid bitch who probably smells like the Crypt Keeper looks. Fuck you.
We lost him. He's gone. Cancel the podcast.
I hate money-grubbing companies so much. That's why I personally hate Big Pharma. Because it's just money-grubbing. Money-grubbing ruins things. Whether it's for good for you or just for fun. EA got fucked because they money-grub.
Okay, we lost Harlan. I think this is a good point to end the podcast because Harlan's losing his shit.
No, we're going still. We're going.
I hate fucking
I want to see if I can get him going
assholes.
again.
He's already going. He's not going to stop.
I know, and I found it hilarious.
My red face is going to be fucking cherry tomato by the end of this.
Oh my god.
Fuck, I'm going to look how Mike looked. Just from pure rage.
How about we mention that Wizards also did decided they were going to do a series of...
Konami's not even that bad. That's saying a lot.
So, how about we say that Wizards was going to do
I have a headache.
was going to do a bunch of... They were going to do a bunch of I don't want to say tours, but like a bunch of conventions. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, they're reintroducing...
Well, they were doing the Magic 30th conventions. Where
Yeah.
And at these conventions, they were selling product that players couldn't get their hands on because they had a hard time because of product distribution and shortage of printing. Because they had a lot of printing shortage this year. And then Wizards is selling it to you directly. Which is, again, something that they said they weren't going to do back in the day, and that's why they only sold to distributors, and distributors sold to you. And so, like those Warhammer decks we mentioned, those were super hard to get, as we talked about, and you roll up to Magic 30th, and Wizards is just selling each one by the case. Like, they had cases upon cases of each
And some of them were just like, you can only get the case.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not selling you each by each. Fuck you. Case,
So,
buy it, whole.
Here's another thing that I wanted to mention. At these events, they sold a Secret Lair.
What Secret Lair?
Lil Kiri Saves the Day, as it was called.
I forgot. I'm not mad at that because they did that the year before too.
No. That's not the part you're gonna get upset about.
All right, tell me.
So, the Lil Kiri Saves the Day at Magic 30th was a special version that you could only get at Magic 30th.
Of
and
course.
It included a bunch of like promo stuff. If I remember correctly,
you're talking about the prize shit for that, which I'll go off on that too.
No, it had like a backpack and like a life counter and stuff like that.
Sure, quote unquote cool coming from fuck you Hasbro and WotC.
Yeah, plus the 5 cards that it came with, which and a bonus card. And I'm pretty confident it came with like a backpack. I think it came with some other stuff though. Either way,
I thought you were talking about the prize support they did for the entire event too.
So this is another issue with the Secret Lairs and Little Gary Saves the Day specifically. They sent it out to people and didn't include all the stuff that was supposed to be in it.
so my dwarf's in trouble.
Yeah, and someone was like, I spent $200 on like your promo gift bundle with this thing included, because that was like part of it. It was like you get this secret lair and like a backpack and some other shit.
Stuff.
And like, it's missing half the stuff. I wasted $200 because you sent me almost nothing.
I'll add that quick. I'll mention Dwarves in Trouble a couple times until they finally fucking send me my shit. It was a Kickstarter that I pledged back in 2016, I think.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Just fucking, like, they promised a bunch of stuff. They got $50,000 over what they asked for. And that company's still sitting on a bunch of shit that a bunch of people are super mad about. Like, I got my base game. People didn't even get their game.
Yeah.
I didn't get my dwarven figure that's supposed to sit in the middle of the fucking table. Cool. Whatever. That was an add-on. I didn't get that. The extra add-ons and my double set of coins I ordered are gone. They're just not there. And you can't contact me. As far as I know, you can still look up Dwarves in Trouble on Kickstarter. Just look at the comments. The comments alone, you'll see me screaming at people. Or not people, just at Hex. And it's insane. They tried releasing 2 other games. And the worst part is, it would be something if they forgot about it and just like didn't touch it again.
So
every once in a while they come back and tell you, don't worry, we're working on it.
Dwarves in Trouble has an average rating of 5 on Board Game Geek. This is one of the leading websites for board games. And I found
5 out of what?
10.
Yeah.
And I found them on Kickstarter. And it says their last update...
It was 2 years ago.
In
Or
21.
a year ago. Like something like that.
Yeah, March 1st of 21. And it's just titled Campaign Fulfillment. I can't see the post. Because it needs me to log in. And I don't feel like logging in right now.
It's just...
Yeah, they do just keep posting updates.
They post updates without fulfilling them. So many people are pissed at them. Some people have gone to their store and they've given them their shit. So they have the shit. They just haven't sent it out yet. And some would say that it's because of COVID. At this point, it's not. Just fucking send out the shit. Whether it's slowly or like all at once. Just send the fucking shit.
You said COVID. We're being demonetized.
We said cunt. We're being demonetized.
That is also true.
I called the
we
CEO.
Said fuck.
I said the woman who was in charge of most of these decisions a rancid cunt.
Yeah, Wizards hates us. So just before we wrap up, I'll finish up.
Oh, I should add allegedly.
The secret. Yes. Now we're fine.
Now we're safe.
The secret layers thing, where that one, Little Geary Saves Day, had problems. That wasn't the only one. A lot of secret layers, they cheaped out on their packaging.
Yeah.
It used to come in a little box. Now it comes in a white envelope. People has gotten bent cards, missing cards, the wrong cards.
Yeah, if it wasn't the fact they were getting this product just like bent, I wouldn't be mad at the fact they're not sending boxes.
Did you see the one guy is a 90-degree angle L shape for his card? It's
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Just fucking... And they won't do returns as much anymore.
Yeah, in order to do their return system, you have to go pulling teeth on their website and go through a long like return form process and calling people, and it takes forever. And sometimes they just go, sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
And then hang up.
It's just fucking
There
nuts.
was one guy I saw in the thing, he opens his white envelope of secret cards, and what's inside? Absolutely nothing. And he's like, I am now out $40 because I got nothing. And then I believe that never got resolved, to my knowledge. It might have.
No, it probably didn't.
It's now become a chance just to buy from fucking Wizards of the Coast anymore. Whether it's from a secondary market or not.
And then on their most recent secret lair, they did these god-awful commercials.
That pissed me off the most. They put so much money in these stupid fucking commercials.
Yeah, they did a secret, and in this there's a bunch of different secrets, but one of them is the cereal box one, where they did the design of the cards in like an old
cereal box,
like a kid's cereal box, like Trix, Lucky Charms,
Lucky Charms, yeah. And so what they did is they did commercials where they have a child sitting at a kitchen table eating the cereal, and then they have like Jim Henson style puppet of the character.
That's an insult to Jim Henson. This is worse than fucking Sesame Street.
Oh,
like
God.
This is something that the SNL skit with the puppets. It's on par with that, if not worse. I think they did better, and it was for a fucking skit.
Yeah, these puppets are they're all fairly high quality. I'll give them that. They're a lot higher quality than you can get for like a cheap store bought one.
They're higher than average quality.
Yeah,
but they are not.
They spent more money
amazing.
than they should have. And then these commercials are awful. They're really bad, and a lot of people are saying that they're awful.
Like the first week I saw them come out, I got so mad, and I just like sent it to you. And their special fucking deal with that box, by the way, too. It was buy X amount of product.
I was going to bring that up.
You get the special card.
Yes.
You Scarab God.
You get a special foil version of the Scarab God, and he was at like a birthday party or some shit. It was like his birthday.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was happening with that.
Take a guess at how much the price was, because I remember, and I'm gonna pull it up just to.
I think you need to spend
$200 or something.
You need to at least spend 50 or 100.
No, it was more.
It was more than 100.
Closer. It was about $250.
It was about it was about $200. That's why Ty wanted the Scarab God, and I was debating on getting the fucking cereal box one and maybe something else.
I didn't even debate. I own all those cards. Why would I want a fucking shit ass?
I mean, that's fair. I just thought it was funny.
That's fair. I think Bearscape's funny.
Until the commercials came out.
Until the commercials came out, that 100%.
Oh, sorry. He's a DJ. He has his legitimate booth.
But
oh boy,
that's why we were gonna see if you wanted in on it. You needed to spend.
The only thing I would have gotten, which I don't even think was out then, was a Junji Ito.
You needed to. I think that was one before it.
Yeah, that was the one before, because I got mine.
I thought it was one.
Because we were talking about that around your wedding.
Yeah, because I bought Junji Ito because he's a great artist. I love his style of horror. And I'm kind of upset he was doing magic cards, but I still bought them because...
Well, they just got good.
I could use the cards that had a Thoughtseize, and it's a cool artwork Thoughtseize, so fuck it.
They just got an artist. They do that.
Yeah.
So I have it here. The Scarab God, who looks like he's on a 80s, 70s rug carpet. You know the one. It's black with some pink in it and like little blue streaks.
Yeah, a little disco carpet.
You needed, in order to get him...
Or the roller disco carpet. Yeah, there you go.
I remember my dad used to run the roller disco. That's why I was thinking of it. You needed to spend at least $200 in Secret Lair cards on only that set of Secret Lairs that was there, which does not count tax or shipping cost. So if you wanted the Scarab God, you're spending at least $200 to get him. We have some. We got some.
That was weird.
Yes.
That's weird.
Those of you who couldn't see, Michael is playing with a small Tentamon figure, and Harlan is playing with a small Gabumon figure.
Like you could see it all. Like we have video.
That's right. We don't have video. And then it turned into what initially looked like a fight turned into a makeout scene.
Gabumon looks like a bear. He looks like he would embrace people.
It's supposed to be a wolf, I think.
He is supposed to be a wolf.
I'm talking about Gay Bear.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Like he's built
on that.
Big.
Okay, on that.
He's built big.
I think we broke Harlan.
We should have mentioned Bearscape.
Oh, there you go, Bearscape.
Look up the art for Bearscape. There was a special version of the card Bearscape.
Fine with this was an LGBT community thing, which sure, whatever. Bearscape was the only one that was not tasteful in any way, shape, or form.
No, it was kind of
it was cursed. Bearscape was cursed.
It looked like they pulled it from fucking Reddit.
It's like
and slapped it on a card.
It's like 4 to 5 bears. They look like bears. You know what I mean? In like a
big
hot tub.
Hairy men.
It was kind of
sitting
bad.
in a hot tub, just rolling around, playing with bears, laying on their back, eating grapes.
Yeah, it was kind of bad.
Like, it would be the thing a right-wing person would call gay and it goes through their head. Whereas, also in the same set, you had, in the story, there's Ral Zarek and his husband, they had a wedding. That was completely tasteful. I was fine with that.
It
looked nice.
And then they had other cards that were like... What about this has to do with this? Like Collective Voyage. Yes. There's like 12 people on a boat just like riding into town. What is this?
I think all of them were confirmed gay in the story.
Well, 2 of them were named characters and the rest were generic faceless.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to make one of them gay and then didn't because China got upset.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly what I mean.
She's bi, not gay. Nissa is gay.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
They spread apart their relationship because they didn't want it. But they kept Ral Zarek's.
We ran over just slightly, but how about you explain that whole thing with the books real fast?
The books?
For War of the Spark,
the audio versions made them seem a lot more interesting. The first one was fine, The first one was fine. It was a little choppy here and there. Yeah. It was stupid in some parts, but it was bearable.
They had like novel style books.
Then the second one was so completely outrageous, and just you could tell they were fixing stuff.
I own the one downstairs.
And towards the end of it, they were actually fixing, like wrapping up some parts, but I was so dissatisfied at the second book.
Well, I meant specifically, how about the China thing?
Oh, China saying, no, we're not selling this book ever. Fuck you, Wizards. We're thinking about banning your product in general because you had Nissa and Chandra kiss.
Yeah, they were trying to make them into
You can't ship them, yet you have Ral Zarek and his husband.
Yeah, so
which I don't think they mentioned once. They were more pissed about Chandra and Nissa versus the actual like homosexual man-gay couple over there versus the lesbian like the chick in college. You know what? I'm gonna dip my toe in it.
The two that just had their first kiss compared to the guys that have been married.
Yeah, or no, need to get married.
Oh, were they not married?
They're confirmed to have an apartment together.
Yeah, they live together.
They also don't have a problem with the 4-color commander decks, the gay brothers.
That was funny. That's something you had to delve deep into the lore of it, but yeah,
they weren't actually brothers.
No, but it's funny to call them gay brothers
because
it reminds me of when I read the book Epic of Gilgamesh in high school, and Enkidu and Gilgamesh were shipped together by the class because it's like, no, they're gay.
They kind of wrote it like
they're
that.
saying love. No, it's just because of the style of writing.
Yeah, that's what
they're talking about a brothership type of love.
Yeah,
a love you would have for your brother. And the whole class is immature and just goes, no, they're fucking. They're doing the finger thing.
So in short,
they look kind of like Gilgamesh and Enkidu too.
Because Wizards wanted to maximize their sales, they changed the book. They changed the book so that the two of them don't. The big thing they've been leading up to, that they might have a relationship together, it ends in like.
Nissa goes to Zendikar and Chandra does whatever.
She
questions her sexuality.
Yeah, I think she went to Kaladesh again, back to her home.
She did something.
Gideon's funeral.
Maybe.
Well, they went to Gideon's funeral and then they separated. They did their own thing. Like I think they went with Kaya and Teo Varada, which was the guy you like with the disco earring.
Yeah, he has the one earring. It's great.
It has something to do with walls.
For him being a major character, you never hear from him again.
Yeah,
I never made another car of Teo Varada.
I thought they were pushing him to be the new white.
He was a main character, and they didn't do anything with him.
To just clear everyone in War of the Spark, I'm not going to mention who, but
they
killed off a bunch of planeswalkers, and of that, what we know is
everyone knows Gideon dies.
Yeah. What we know is like the 5 was there's essentially 5 main planeswalkers to the story, and they're one for each color: red, black, blue, green, and white.
They're meant to be poster boys throughout the minor story that was
they've already swapped the green and white ones once each.
Yeah,
it used to be a Johnny, and then it became Gideon
and black. Until they just made her black-white constantly.
Liliana?
Yeah, she's now Kaya.
Well, it's Liliana still.
It's Kaya.
It's not.
It's Kaya.
And then
it's Teferi.
That's fair. And then Garruk was originally going to be... Garruk was the green one until they moved him out for Nissa.
And now it's...
and Nissa's out again.
Now Nissa's out again.
Vivian. They replaced her with Vivian.
Yeah, that's why I said Vivian.
You didn't say Vivian.
Yeah, I did.
No.
I said Vivian.
You said not. Or you said...
I pointed at you and said Vivian in the past 5 words.
Pretty confident.
I did.
Okay.
We can check back.
We're not going to.
I'm too far away. It may not.
We're too lazy. So, here's the... Gideon dies at the end of War of the Spark, and we're like, oh, who are they going to set to be the new white planeswalker? Well, it's got to be the guy they introduced in War of the Spark named Teo, who's the main character of
He's the new planeswalker who just got his spark. The book starts with him on his plane.
Gideon's all about defense and like having the perfect defense, essentially, but only for himself.
Protecting the people. Teo Varada also protects the people.
Yeah, Teo's about building literal shields in front of people.
With fucking geomancy, which is using light shapes as shields.
Teo builds walls.
Yeah, he builds walls. He's Donald Trump.
So, yeah. Any closing remarks?
Fuck Wizards and fuck Hasbro.
Okay.
That's about it.
They're greedy,
Play the Digimon card game.
Ouch, we've migrated to Digimon.
Yeah.
We have migrated to
I'll
the
still
new one.
keep my shit and
we're
sell
gonna
what I
keep
don't
it.
want.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it, but
We're gonna keep our stuff. I'm just probably not
we
gonna
did
buy
downsize our decks.
new stuff.
Yeah, I'm downsized.
Yeah.
I'm no longer doing discard. I'm heavily debating getting rid of Tiny Bones.
I don't blame you. Next week, or the week after, next recording session, because we do 2-week schedules. So
Yeah.
Not next week, but the 2 weeks. Join us for the fighting game episode.
So we'll just talk about good fighting games
We're
and
gonna talk a bit
some
about
history of
fighting
some of the
games.
classics.
We're gonna talk. I'm gonna go over a brief history. We're gonna go over some of the big names of fighting games.
In bad good fighting
and,
Bad good fighting
Yeah,
games.
and those bad good ones. And
like Grand Blue.
That's right there. That's one of them. The Rumblefish. Yeah, there you go. That's one. I got this one that you have to try.
What's that?
It's called Chaos Code.
Oh god.
Chaos Code Catastrophe Next, and I got it cheap, and I got, this is not going to be a good fighting game.
That name gave me
And then-
indigestion.
I was like, bro, this is not going to be a good fighting game. And then I played it, I'm like, this shit feels smooth as fuck.
I'll take a peek. One I recommend is Vanguard Princess. It's one I picked up a while ago, but it's surprisingly good.
So
Game doesn't open anything bigger than a window.
Yeah, it
but
doesn't. It's on the PC only.
It's PC only.
It does not work on Steam
But
Deck.
it plays really well. I like the game.
So
Right.
this has been round 1 fight. Join us next week, where we 2 weeks where we actually talk about fight.
Next episode. Just
Next
say
episode where we actually talk about the fight.
we talk about fighting games.
How we just got to figure out the round and the one.
Number 1 fighting game.
Right now, or you want to?
Now, what about the round?
I'm fat, so me.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Or our mics, they're snowballs.
Oh no!